Hi, everybody. After reading comments from folks and instant messages that I've received regarding some of the videos that I've posted about meeting people, the subtext of many of these comments were really, what's the big deal? Why is this even a challenge? What are you afraid of? And now, after having actually done this and meeting people and talking to strangers, I wonder the same thing. Like, what was the big deal? What was I afraid of? But I guess there are a lot of things in life that until we actually just go face them, face the fears and face the challenges and overcome them, and then in retrospect look back and say, what in the world was I thinking? What was the big deal about that? Well, I'm beginning to feel about this that way about this challenge now, that it's time for me to move on to the next level. And so the other day in Barnes and Noble, not Barnes and Noble, I'm sorry, in Starbucks, I was doing some work, doing some writing, and I looked up and I saw this group of older gentlemen. And you know what older means? It's anybody who's 5 years or more older than who you are, they're older. So I saw this group of older gentlemen who I had seen before congregating in coffee shops, which older men and I say men because I don't see women doing this, but generally older men congregating in coffee shops, um, talking politics, giving their opinions about anything and everything. So I saw this group of gentlemen and I decided that's what I want to do. I want to join that group. And knowing what I knew about engaging people, I knew that engaging groups were much more difficult because not only that you needed to join the conversation, but you may not be welcome. This could be a very tight-knit group. It could be a group that meets for a certain purpose. So I saw them. They were my target group. That's who I was going to engage for the day. But I still wasn't finished with my work, so I was going to wait till I finished writing. About the time I finished writing, two of the four men who were in the group got up to leave. So I thought this would be my chance to join them. So I got up, walked over, and stood next to the two gentlemen who were leaving as they were giving their goodbyes. It was a little bit awkward because they were looking at me like, what's this guy doing standing here? But they said goodbye, and then I asked if the chair was available. One of the seats were available, and they graciously allowed me to sit. And one of the things that prompted me to join this particular group today was something that I had eavesdropped on. And one of the people in the group had said, well, what do you think? Obama, in his last 2 weeks of his administration, is going to come and take your guns away? So I knew that, like many of these groups, they were solving the world's problems and they had the answers. So that's what I wanted to do. So I joined these two gentlemen, the two gentlemen who were left. But instead of talking about world problems, it became, I'm going to say, kind of became an audition for me. You know, who are you? What do you do? And I really wanted to find out about them. That's my goal. So really, I'm just beginning the process of, I don't want to say infiltrating this group, but becoming a part of this group. One of the gentlemen, it ended up, I had met before briefly. He was part of another group of people with whom I was talking, and he was just in that conversation. He just happened to be there. He was peripheral. I didn't even pay attention to him. And it was only because it bothered him that he couldn't place me did he finally realize where we had met before. The other gentleman was interesting, very interesting to me because I told him, he asked where I was from originally. I told him I was from the Salinas Valley. And he said, oh, Soledad Gonzales area, which, unless you're from there, those are pretty esoteric references. So the fact that he knew exactly where I was from generated some interest. Come to find out, this gentleman in the late 60s and 70s, his job was purchasing dairy farms. And in the area at that time, there were many dairy farmers who were selling their cattle and going out of business. So he was very familiar with the area and very familiar with the Swiss Italians, Italian Swiss, and very interesting. So we didn't solve any world problems, but that's what's next. So I'm going to the next level, and that next level is joining these groups of gentlemen who have all the answers. So go out and meet somebody today. We'll talk to you soon.